Hello everybody, good day to you and welcome back. We have got ourselves right here a 2008 Ford F-150, 174,197.2 miles on the odometer. What we're doing here today in this Ford is we're going to evaluate what's going on with the warm AC system performance. Customer stated to me in the parking lot that he was inspecting the service ports on this and found that one of them may have a leak. So we're going to start with that. The other issue that we're going to be looking at real quick today is this airbag warning indicator. Customer states it does 3 flashes on occasion, then remains on. So we're going to scan tool that and see what's going on with the AC, and then we're going to go from there. So stay tuned. This is going to be a great video. But it's not going to be anything until we pop an the hood. Little bird toe. Woo! Roush! Let's do a quick looky-loo here with these service ports. Listen in case there's pressure under these caps. Negative. I didn't hear anything. Let's check low side. It's tight. Found it. Alright, we're going to get 2 things done at the same time here. I'm going to connect this machine, begin the recovery process of the refrigerant. While that's happening, we're going to go into the cabin, diagnose the airbag light, and we'll go from there. Okay, let's go ahead and recover all of this. We'll change the service ports and then check the system operation after that. And the reason I want to do it that way is quite literally, yesterday in fact, I just made a video about leaking service valves. If you didn't see that video, just check the link down in this video's description, or up here at the very end, or right here at the very end, and it will take you back in time, and you can see the leaking AC service valve video that I did, like I said, yesterday. Okay, high side valve on and open. Okay, powering on, recovering. It's going to go ahead and pull everything out of the system. Once the system is discharged, I can go ahead and change those valves. We'll then recharge everything, fire it back up, and see how it runs. Alright, now in the interest of efficiency, okie dokes, AC machines in action, power on the scan tool, beep. Check out this airbag business. Key on, AC off. Windows down for ventilation because it's super hot out. It's actually not that bad. My thermometer's over there telling me it's 89 degrees. But we're lacking a breeze today, which sucks. Oh goodness, I neglected to mention this particular F-150 is equipped with a 5.4 liter 3-valve. Alright, let's head down into our airbag sensing and diagnostic module. Where are you, airbags? Did I go right over it and not see it? Yep, sure did. Ran it right over, didn't even see. Airbag, there we go. See if there's trouble codes. I bet there are. Restraint system pretensioner fault, B2292. That's our trouble code. So there is an issue with one of the pretensioners. The pretensioners are the devices connected to the airbag system that are attached to the seat belt or the seat belt buckle, and in the event of an airbag deployment, those pretensioners will go off. They have an explosive charge in them. When that charge goes off, it's designed to yank on the buckle or yank back on the belt in order to pull the occupant into the seat and secure them for the impact. You know, GM had a recall couple years ago on the some of the trucks where the pretensioners would go off in the event of a collision, and it would set the carpet on fire, and then that would catch the seats on fire, and then the truck would burn down. You know, and on that note, it wasn't really a component fault or a design flaw or anything like that, because each of the parts were designed just fine. The problem is when they were all put back together, you know, the seats and the carpet and the pretensioner, when all these parts were assembled in a certain configuration, it created the conditions for that fire to occur. So it wasn't really something that could have been foreseen by the engineers or the design team. But when all that technology was arranged in the way that it was arranged and then put into the field, they found that on occasion after a deployment event, that fire could be started. You know, and that's how most recalls end up happening. It's not one component's individual fault, it ends up being the arrangement of the components or the way that they're made to interact with each other that ends up causing the concern. And again, it's something that's often not able to be foreseen during the design phase. Okay, anyway, back to the task at hand. So I've got the airbag data pulled up here, and it was according to the code, it was saying that there was a deployment loop fault with one of the pretensioners. So what I'm going to do is run through all the data here, and we're going to look for one of these pretensioner resistance values in ohms to be outside of the normal range. For example, we can see here these are all hanging out at about 2 to 3 ohms. But if we go over here to this value, the one under the highlighted, we're looking at 9.2 ohms. Now that's standing right out to us, to me. So I'm going to go ahead and suspect that whatever circuit or component is involved with this PID is the reason that the code is being displayed. Alrighty, I've got the B codes pulled up here in all data, and it looks like B2292, restraint system safety belt pretensioner fault, driver pretensioner circuit fault. So this is the driver's side seat belt tensioner, and it wants us to go to pinpoint test J. Here's our description of operation. The safety pretensioners are activated by the restraint control module, RCM. I mistakenly called it the SSDM, to remove excessive slack from the safety belt webbing when an impact exceeding pre-programmed limits is detected. So again, it makes your seat belt tighter when you wreck your car. Okie doke, so here's the deal. Pinpoint test J is rather lengthy. This is going to be time consuming. So I'm going to save this as a last resort. We're going to go look for something staring at us in the face. What I'm going to do is locate the connectors for the driver's side pretensioner, which should be located down here in the B pillar. We're going to go ahead and disconnect that, and I'm going to inspect the connections for a good connection. We're going to look for corrosion, loose wires, loose pins, things of that nature. If we find anything, we'll attempt to correct it, and then we'll verify the repair by rechecking the resistance values in the scan tool. I know rule number 1, do not move customer seats. Unfortunately, I never was one for the rules. Okie doke, so these components are usually kept out of view, but I want to try to show you guys the pre-tensioning device on these seat belts. What we're looking at right in front of us is the driver's side seatbelt latch on the driver's seat. You see it right there. And if we look down at the bottom, we can see this bracket assembly with the cylindrical device at the end of it. That is the explosive charge, and this is what will explode via a voltage command sent by the airbag module. It'll explode, it'll send a ram shooting down that direction, which will pull on the cable, which is connected to the seat belt, which will tighten the seat belt, and again, fasten the occupant. So what I need to do is get to this connector right here. We want to disconnect that connector and then inspect the pins and the connector. And again, once I plug it back in, we'll recheck resistance on it and see if we've been able to come up with a resistance change that will allow the system to work again. Not going to be able to get it from the back bottom side, but I think if I squeeze in from the top right here, I can get that connector unconnected very carefully. I need a tool. All right, let's try this again with a little mini pick screwdriver. Do-do-do-do-do. Come on, connector. These are very, very fragile, and I don't want to break it. Give it some wiggle action. Check it out, I fit you guys in under the seat. Now you can see and I can see. Come out, connector. All right, our values are pulled back up. Driver's side pretensioner, now I know the acronym. In ohms, we're up to 25.5 ohms, and that's the open circuit value. All right, let's plug her back in. It's not this one. Go become plugged in now. Thank you. Click, double click, give it a tug, make sure we're good. Okay, keying back on. Retry. And driver side pretensioner 9.2 ohms. Oh, and for a reference, driver side pretensioner in ohms, passenger side pretensioner in ohms. Passenger side, same component right there. That's it. 2.3 ohms, and then the driver side, the one we just disconnected, that's hanging out at 9.2. Let's find the connector underneath of the seat and check that connection for loose pins or things of that nature. Let's check that one, and then we'll see what resistance does once we disconnect that connector. Under the driver's seat, here is the main harness connector for all the airbag components that are found in the seat. Let's get this guy unplugged and we'll inspect its internals. That was easy. Those pins look good. The female side looks good. Let's key the scanner back on, check the data one more time. All right, so we're back to 25.5 ohms on the driver's side pretensioner. Okay, let's plug this back in. I'll move you guys right here. You know, I gotta tell you, this plug didn't feel very secure when I went to disconnect it. Yeah, it just wasn't feeling very good. I don't know, it's plugged in now. Okay, so since we're still running at around 9 ohms on that driver's side pretensioner, let's go ahead and run an experiment to see if we cannot determine if it is the tensioner or the wires that are causing that condition. I don't believe it's wiring, but we're going to prove it out right now by substituting in a known good resistance value by way of using a resistor. Basically what I'm going to do here is plug this resistor into the car in place of the pretensioner, and then we're going to again use the scan tool to verify the monitored resistance at the module. That's going to tell us if it's the pretensioner in the car or if it's the circuit. You can see here we're at 1.2 ohms with just the test leads. Let's go ahead and check resistance of the actual resistor. I think it's supposed to be a 2 ohm resistor. Yeah, 3.1, 3.2. Now we can't plug this into the plug, so we're going to substitute some jumper wires that will be connected to this resistor, and then with the leads at the end of these jumpers we can plug that into the wiring harness. Oop, gravity. Alright, there's one. Here, let's use a green one instead of a blue one. The clip on the blue one was kind of sideways. Okay. Now, we're just going to measure resistance of this entire assembly we've created here. Set that down so we can see. Meter lead. Other meter lead. And we have a total of 3.84 ohms. This is good enough to facilitate our testing purposes. Let's head over to the car, plug this in, and then we'll check the monitored resistance at the scan tool. Okay, I have, for the sake of time, already gone back down below and disconnected that pretensioner, and we can see right here we're hanging out again at 25.5 ohms. That's going to be our open circuit value. Now let's plug in and we'll see what the scan tool reflects. If I can reach the thing. It's far away down there. I don't even think you guys can see. I'll just narrate through it. We've got one lead plugged in, and lead number 2 is plugged in. Okay. Looking at the scan tool, look where we're at. 2.8 ohms for our driver's side pretensioner, 2.7 ohms. Now I'm going to disconnect it and watch it go open circuit, reconnect it, We're going to drop back down 2.6 ohms. Now, just for fun, I'm going to take the resistor out and just short these two together. We'll see what the value says when we short it. Way down to 0.6 ohms, which is probably the resistance value of these wires. So, what I want to do next, we're going to plug this resistor back in. That way this circuit has the correct resistance value again. Then I'm going to clear the trouble codes. We will restart the engine and we will see if the airbag module sets a code. So we're going to go to code menus, clear codes. Key is on, yes. Initiating, clearing, codes are cleared. Keying off. Exiting, keying on, restarting vehicle. And looky here. Airbag light is off. That's the seatbelt light. Pay no mind to that one. Let's go back into the scanner and we'll just check the airbag module for trouble codes. If we do not have any, then we have confirmed that that driver's side seatbelt pretensioner device is in fact faulty. No trouble codes present. And we'll shut it down one more time. Restart it one more time. Again, no codes present, no airbag light. But watch, if I disconnect this, boom, airbag light right away. And again with our 3 flashes. That's a confirmed diagnosis. Okay, now that we've figured out that airbag issue, let's whip some or slap some Schrader valves in this AC system real quick like. We'll recharge this and then I'll report the issue with the airbag. And we'll see what we're gonna do. Come on, Schrader valve. I want to make this lickety split super fast, lightning speed. There's one. Stay. Oh, that's a big one. Reverse clickage. Come out. These big ones like to get stuck. Oh, that one's super nasty. Surprised that didn't leak. Look at that thing. Yeah, the seal does not look very good on the bottom of that. See it right there, all smashed. Nasty. So like I said, we're gonna do this really quick like. So there's our new one. We'll drop this in. I know this is kind of deja vu from video from earlier. Bear with me here, everybody. We're just trying to zip through this real quick like. Click. Move over here to that low side valve. While I'm installing this one, I'm simultaneously connecting the service port to the AC machine with my other hand. See, just because it's not on camera doesn't mean it doesn't happen. Time. Okay, let's pull this thing into a vacuum because we did let some air get into the system and that's not good. So we're gonna vacuum this down, recharge it. Incidentally, I pulled out just over 1.21 pounds and spec is 2.25 pounds, so it was about half of a charge. And right around the half charge mark is where you start to see AC system performance issues. Fun fact. Vacuum, 10 minutes. Begin vacuuming now. Yes. Okie dokes. Vacuuming is done. Let's go ahead and throw a quick charge in this thing and then see what kind of temperatures it makes. And again, we're looking for 2.25 pounds. Pound scale 0, 225. 2.25 pounds on the high side. Go, baby, go. She's taking it. All of it. All right, looks like our charge is complete. All right, let's go ahead and start this thing up. Check the temperature real quick, documentate everything, and we're gonna go ahead and release this car. We are not going to replace the seatbelt pre-tensioner today. That's a future project, and we can handle that at a later time. AC powering on, full speed ahead, Captain. Okay, let's take a quick snapshot here of our pressures. 260, 270, what, 48. Whoa, that's a little high right here. Fan's going. It's not out of range, but it is on the high side. But it's also kind of a warm day today, so I think we're good with that. Let's go ahead and get this thing disconnected. Ooh, that's hot. Hot, 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 hot. And it's hot because it is transferring heat. It's pulling all the heat out of the cabin, running it through the high side line to be cooled off at the condenser. Oh, come on, there we go. Loud noises. Consequently, this line is cold. Disconnect that, we're good. Throw that guy back on, good to go. Let's collect our goodies here. Come on, light bar. You're coming with me. See you later, Roush. Alrighty, everybody, we're good to go here. Looking like 55 degrees at our center vent. I find that to be acceptable. This operation is now complete, and I'm backing it out. As always, I'd like to thank you for watching my video today. Do not forget to tap that subscribe button if you have not already. That way you do not miss out on any more of my future videos. So again, as always, thank you for watching, and most importantly, do not forget to have yourselves a great day. See you guys later. Bye. End of transmission. Powering down. See you later, Ferd.